This is in addition to its violation of the Lebanese telecom network, sending threatening messages to the Lebanese citizens and causing fear and panic among the population. We sent reports of these to you, Mr. President, and to the Secretary General in a formal letter on December 6. Just imagine, esteemed members of the Council, if we were to call for a Security Council meeting every time Israel violated Lebanon's sovereignty since 2006. You will be here 24/7 shift to address them. Lebanese officials accorded the problem of the tunnels the utmost careful attention, fearing, rightly so, that Israel might use it as a pretext to threaten the stability of Lebanon. The Prime Minister-designate told the Unified Force Commander that the United Nations must shoulder its responsibilities in facing the daily violations by Israel. He said the escalating tone towards Lebanon, which you had a taste of it today outside the Council, that does not serve the relative calm that has been prevailing for more than 12 years in the South. Prime Minister Hariri called the international community on all of you to curb this escalation in the interest of the respect of the Blue Line and the full implementation of Resolution 1701. We repeat his call here again today in the Council, hoping that you diffuse the situation for the benefit of peace and calm on our border. Mr. President, in light of all these violations and disregard of international legality, the Lebanese are asking a legitimate question. Are there aristocrats in violations for the international community? They are worried about double standards, where Lebanese reports of Israeli violations of its sovereignty are buried in the archives, while Israel's complaints get Security Council meetings and their actions go unpunished. Mr. President, listen to this quote. We have the perfect right of preemptive self-defense to survey and collect intelligence. These are the words of the Prime Minister of Israel a few days ago when addressing the Israeli breaches of Lebanese airspace. What the Prime Minister sees as self-defense is seen as a threat in Beirut. When the Israeli planes fly low or break the sound barrier over populated areas, people feel the brunt of the Israeli violations. We all know too well how the so-called Israeli right of preemptive self-defense, which, by the way, has no international legal basis, is used to justify illegal aggressive acts and invasions. Mr. President, we should not be condemned to repeating the same situation over and over again. There is a simple way of keeping the border calm. It is by adhering to Resolution 1701 by both sides, and not only by Lebanon. It's by moving from a cessation of hostilities to a permanent ceasefire. It's by the Israeli withdrawal from the remaining occupied Lebanese territory and territorial waters. There is also a UN mechanism in South Lebanon, as you all mentioned, the Tripartite Committee that can deal with all the issues that arise from the situation in South Lebanon. This committee can be empowered to solve all the violations, especially solving the outstanding issues of the border disputes between Lebanon and Israel, including the maritime border. These issues can be resolved away from any domestic political considerations. The Israeli press is rife with questions about the timing and purpose of this Israeli campaign. But although Lebanon is not concerned with domestic Israeli policy, it refuses to be used as a pawn in Israeli power politics. Lebanon is interested in preserving calm on its territory and living in peace and security. Is this too much to ask, Mr. President? Thank you very much.
I thank the representative of Lebanon for her statement. I now give the floor to the representative of Israel.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Undersecretary General. Imagine a crisp fall morning in northern Israel, in Metula. Farmers working in their fields, boys and girls walking to school, neighbors wishing each other Boker Tov, good morning, and going about their days. Metula is surrounded by the Lebanese border, but the town lives in calm and quiet until the terror starts. Suddenly, a force of 250 Hezbollah terrorists from the elite Radwan unit emerged from the end of a cross-border terror tunnel. This tunnel spans from Kfar Kila, Lebanon, directly into Metula, Israel. It was built to enable this large group of Hezbollah terrorists to move swiftly across the border underground. The tunnels are wide enough for Radwan terrorists to march 2 by 2 into Israel. Hezbollah's Radwan forces will use this tunnel to invade Israel and take over Metula. Its terrorists will kill civilians, children, and the elderly. Then it will close Road 90, the highway connecting Metula with the rest of the Galilee, holding Metula under siege. But now, imagine this tragic scenario multiplied 5 times over. Imagine Hezbollah's Radwan terrorists using 5 different tunnels to enter 5 other towns in Israel: Kiryat Shmona, Avivim, Zar'it, Adamit, Manara, killing innocent Israeli civilians, kidnapping them, and taking over parts of the Galilee. Hezbollah called this strategic and operational plan conquering the Galilee. It is a ground attack, but Hezbollah does not stop there. Hezbollah shoots thousands of rockets and missiles into northern Israel. It launches anti-tank missiles that could easily hit a bus full of children. It seizes control of northern Israel's major roads and highways. It uses Shiite militias together with the Radwan forces to cross the blue line into Israel, overcome obstacles Israel has set in their way, and launch terror attacks against Israel by sea. What I just described, this is not just a figment of the imagination. But, Mr. President, we will never allow this to happen. Through an extensive intelligence operation, Israel monitored Hezbollah's widespread terror tunnel project, spanning from Lebanon into Israel's sovereign territory and underneath the Blue Line. On December 4, 2018, Israel initiated Operation Northern Shield. This operation is a protective measure to prevent the possibility of such a grave reality from ever taking place. It's a preemptive logistical operation on our side of the Blue Line. The goal was and remains to neutralize and destroy Hezbollah's terror tunnels. The IDF has reported the existence so far of 4 terror tunnels in 4 separate geographical locations that begin in Lebanon and infiltrate Israel. Israel has informed its partners about this extensive operation and has also provided UNIFIL with full information about the tunnels. Throughout all of this, Hassan Nasrallah, the Secretary General of Hezbollah, has remained oddly silent. 2 days ago, UNIFIL confirmed the existence of these terror tunnels. UNIFIL stated clearly that Hezbollah's activities constitute a violation of Security Council Resolution 1701 and are a matter of serious concern. Israel transferred all of the information to UNIFIL. We even provided exact coordinates of the opening of the tunnels on the Lebanese side. Perhaps